Does your match history look like this? Many League of Legends players find themselves losing game after game, not able to win, and although many may want to blame their teammates, deep down they know that it is on themselves. My name is TTL or Test the Limit. I'm a Challenger jungle main, and today I'm going to help you determine the top 5 things that are holding you back and stopping you from climbing to a higher rank. Number 1, autopiloting. Autopiloting is a crucial mistake that many players make that causes them to lose games. Players can autopilot in many different ways, but what it really comes down to is losing focus. This can happen after playing multiple games or if your mind is stuck on something else rather than the game at hand. You should constantly be looking at your minimap, thinking about the game and what the correct thing to do is, trying to plan ahead with what actions you need to take to win the game. It can be really hard to get out of a funk when autopiloting, and the best way to fix it is to take a break from the game. Maybe go meditate and drink some water. Many people recommend playing the game in blocks of 3, then taking an hour or 2 break before playing more. This allows you to fully focus on those 3 games, go get lunch, exercise, or do whatever else you need to do for the day, and then play another 3 or 4 games. This has worked for me in the past and has really helped me to improve my gameplay. Number 2, inefficient clearing and farming. Included in this topic is wave management, which can be a very tricky subject. I highly recommend subscribing for my next video, which will be going in depth on how to correctly manage waves. Inefficient clearing and farming can be detrimental to winning or losing a game. This goes hand in hand with autopiloting, because this is something you are doing constantly throughout every game that you play. This could also be just because you do not have the knowledge or practice to know how to farm correctly, or which jungle clear you should be doing. I have multiple videos on my channel for multiple different champions going over their optimal jungle clear if you would like to check them out and see if your main champion has a video yet. Inefficient clearing and farming can cause you to have less gold than the opposing team, as well as having less XP and just slowly getting behind further and further. The first step to fixing this is looking up and learning the correct clear for your champion, and going into Practice Tool to actually practice those clears. In the Practice Tool, you can also practice farming if you're a laner to get better and better at that as well. If you or anyone you know are interested in League of Legends Challenger coaching, I highly recommend going to patreon.com/testthelimit. I provide jungle coaching at a Challenger level for any rank as long as you're willing to learn. You can start out with our Bronze Patron tier, which just is a way for you to support me and get the Patron Discord role on our Discord server. Or at just $10 a month, you get the Scholar Discord role, which gives you access to all of my backlogs of coaching, as well as a private chat on the Discord to ask me questions, and on Challenger Jungle Champion guides, such as Kha'Zix, Evelynn, and there are soon to be more. At $25 a month, this starts where you actually get coaching, and there's 3 coaching tiers, $25, $50, and $100 a month. $25 a month is coaching once a month that you can get from me. $50 is twice a month, so once every 2 weeks, and $100 a month is coaching every single week that you are a Patreon, and you can just text me on Discord and we can set up schedules for any of these tiers. Thanks for listening to this ad, and we can get straight back to the video now and enjoy the rest of the video. Number 3, not building correctly. Builds are everything in League of Legends. Everything you do goes towards your build. Whether that's farming, taking turrets, or getting kills, everything gives you gold so that you can build your items. If you do not know what the correct items to build are, you can put yourself in a position that you are wasting gold on non-gold valuable items. The easiest way that you can fix this problem is going to u.gg or op.gg and looking up your champion to find out what the correct build is. Although this is the easiest way, it isn't always the most efficient. For example, myself and my friend Sipity have started building Manamune on Kha'Zix. No one else does this, But because we did the math and realized that this build was superior in damage to every other Kha'Zix build, we have started doing it. We found this out by going into the practice tool and testing out our damage with each item that we would regularly build on Kha'Zix. Then we experimented with new items and new ways that the champion could be played. This is the most efficient way of knowing which build is best, but can be very time consuming. Number 4, you follow rather than lead. What this means is that rather than making the callouts and leading your team to do the correct plays, you strictly follow them. It isn't always a bad idea to listen to your team, but if you know that a play is a bad one, make sure to tell them and let them know that it is a bad decision. If your team is making a play that can cost you the game, do not follow them. Instead, spam ping them to back up and let them be aware that they should not be making this play. This can sometimes be frustrating because your team will not always listen to you and may make the bad play anyways. If this happens, just try and make your own decision on whether you want to try and help them or to let them die from their mistakes. Sometimes the latter is actually the correct decision because this leaves you alive and allows you to defend your base rather than dying with your team and the other team ending the game. This is something that can take a lot of practice to learn and is impossible to get it right every single time, but it's very vital to winning many, many games. Number 5, you're trying to do too much. This is something that I have preached for the past multiple years. Many people that I have coached in the past or have tried helping climb tend to get a lead or stay even with the enemy players, then end up throwing the game by trying to do too much. This often happens because the player gets panicky and thinks that they need to make a certain play to win the game or to get even more ahead, when in reality, all they need to do is continue farming and keep scaling to the late game. There are multiple ways to win a game, not just one, and the correct option is sometimes to just out-farm the enemy and outscale. You do not always have to make those risky plays to get more kills. The best and most optimal way to help you learn not to make this mistake is to go for ganks and fights that are almost surely won. Do not fight fights that are 50-50 coin flips or that you think you will most likely lose. People tend to make this mistake when playing champions that can 1v9. They get fed in the early game and then end up throwing the late game because they try to 1v4 or 1v5. Stick with your team, play smart, and do not make these bad, dumb fights that can cost you the game. These were my top 5 reasons that you are stuck in the elo that you are. Thanks for watching, and make sure to hit the subscribe button for more educational jungle content. I'll see you guys next time.